Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. We're here to talk all things football, but please, before you do anything, hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you are new. On a very slow road to 300, but we will get there, hopefully before Christmas. And again, I'd like to say thank you to those people that subscribed earlier on in the week. Much appreciated. We have got a lot to talk about. It is International Week. We are now coming down to the last few days before the real football comes back. The Premier League is back at the weekend, and so looking forward to that, shall I say. There's an awful lot to speak about. As you all know, Everton is in the news amongst other clubs, Liverpool, Tottenham now, obviously Man City, Chelsea. So listen, there's a lot to talk about, and obviously tonight we will be covering some subject matters, and that is the Toffees, the 10-point deduction. This has certainly opened up a can of worms, and the media are not happy. With how Everton have been treated. But listen, if you've broken the law, then mate, you have to pay the price. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? There are rules, and you can't be going around breaking rules. You know what I mean? Whatever way you look at it, you might be able to sort of work your way around things and cheat your way around things. But at the end of the day, if you're cheating the system and the certain rules are being set, then, at the end of the day, it will be the case. You know what I mean? So listen, we're going to talk about that. And obviously, England going to the Euros. This was reported in Sky Sports. They're going to the Euros as one of the favourites, Euros 24, as one of the favourites. But will they live up to that tag? And looking at our respective clubs, their midterm grades, will it be an A or will it be an unclassified? And obviously, the Prem weekend will be the Prem weekend is back, and we're going to look at all the fallouts after the international break. Obviously, some players have ended up with injuries and stuff like that. So we're just going to look at that, and obviously, I'll get the guys to predict their scores, if not live on the stream, but they can always put it in What's Going On podcast chat on the WhatsApp group. But listen, I've been gassing it on too long now, so I've got Big D waiting in the green room. So let me bring him in now. Big D, what you saying, brother?
Yes, bro. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, not bad, matey. Not bad.
Yeah, man. And how's the week been? And how's life? How did you cope without the Premier League football for 10 days?
Yeah, international break kind of throws a spanner, doesn't it? Kind of throws a spanner. But like we were talking backstage, the team that I lean to away from United, the Brazil, are struggling in their qualification groups. Man, like Ez.
Big up. Yes, yeah, you're saying D.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one, even for them. You know what I mean? I was seeing Gareth Southgate getting 1-1 draws against some meaty teams and all that. You know what I mean? And so it kind of made me smile a little bit. You know what I mean? As bad as we've been.
I mean, all right, yeah, they've qualified, but you look at those two games and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Bring you any kind of hope, does it? You know what I mean. But we will go into that later on in the show. But over to you, Ez. How you doing, man?
Yes, people. I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad, man. I'm glad to be on the show, even briefly. I'm on.
Yeah.
I'm sneaking in here because we've got a flight tomorrow out to the Caribbean. We're flying.
Oh, nice one, bro.
Oh, nice. Yeah. What, are you going to spend some of that Abramovich money?
Bowling money.
I hear it.
Money is not good money. You know what I mean?
You might get your points deducted. Make it out there, so behave.
Hey, listen. We got to drink before we get taxed. You know what I mean?
Yes, Judy. What you say, man?
Yes.
So what part of the Caribbean are you going to?
Oh, we're going Dominican Republic.
All right.
Yeah, I went years ago. It's a nice ride, man. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Shana's been before. I've never been, and she's been pulling my leg. Let's go.
So how long are you out there for?
8 days.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Big up. Listen, enjoy the sun, because obviously
winter break is the
winter break. You know the way there. Yeah.
Do you know what's nice? We land obviously later on tomorrow, but the Premier League's back and there's good games. They have very, very good games. And out there they show 3:00 games, where out here they don't show
them. That's right.
You gotta pick on the bunch, mate.
Yeah. So there's like Man City,
Man City, Liverpool.
That's a big
game.
You guys are playing, we're playing, you know what I mean? So that's all in one day. So literally Saturday got that blocked out for football somewhere in the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know what? You see, when I lived in America, the same thing. They showed all the games. I don't get why over here charging big money for Sky and BT.
Because this is what they do. Come on. This is what they do.
Nonsense,
it's how they earn that, mate. You know what I'm saying?
This is it.
I just couldn't believe how many games I used to watch in America.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's going on here? And that was just on my regular subscription. It wasn't even no paying out my nose for stuff.
Yeah.
The games are coming up.
Well, it's good as well, because then there's NBA seasons well on the way now as well.
Exactly, the basketball. Yeah.
I'll be watching that in good time. I've already got permission. You know what I mean? She'll be somewhere on the beach. I'll be in the sports.
You've gone all the way to the Dominican Republic to go and watch basketball.
Hey, listen. At least it's not at 3 a.m.
Don't watch it live. If you want to watch it live, I can understand, mate. But you're going over there on the TV. Yeah, go and enjoy the beach, man. Come on.
Listen, the Chelsea owner has stakes in LA Dodgers. You know what I mean? So LA Dodgers and the Lakers. So he owns the
Lakers.
Dodgers. You know, the word Dodgers does ring.
Okay,
nice.
Here we go.
They're dodging a bullet, eh? There's a certain team trying to dodge bullets, yeah. But listen, let's crack on, because I know Ez is on a timer. So let's just talk about it, and that's the Everton. Obviously, it's being talked about, you know, on loads of podcasts and everything, and in the news and everywhere you go, it's just in front of your face, mate. And that's you know, Everton, you know, getting deducted 10 points for basically breaking financial fair play rules, and that's the profit and sustainability rules, basically, where it simply means that, look, the money that you're making, you should be making. The money that you're making, you should not be. They do now. The Premier League do allow you up to £105 million for you to actually work up to. It's like a threshold. But if you go over that, then these are losses that they're talking about. If you go over those losses, then you are going to get fined, and obviously the penalty. And the Premier League saw it fit from I think it's a 5-man panel. Independent panel to say, right, we have to deduct you 10 points. And I suppose the question I want to ask you guys on there is, was that a too harsher thing that they've done, giving docking them 10 points? And the other interesting thing is, obviously, Everton don't agree with it. They feel it's too harsh. They were sitting in 14th place on 14 points, and now they're in the bottom three on 4 points, second from bottom. I think it's only Burnley.
They're 19th, isn't it? No,
yeah, 19th. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on it, gentlemen? And it's certainly opened up a can of worms. And you know, one of the things, Everton, which I kind of probably I did put it in our chat, but maybe it probably be good to bring to our attention and to the people watching, is the fact that Everton obviously came out and say, listen, they're saying it's wholly disproportionate and unjust sporting sanction. The club has already communicated its intention to appeal the decision to the Premier League. The appeal process will now commence, and the club's case will be heard by an appeal board appointed person to the Premier League's rules in due course. And the bit that I sort of highlighted in red is basically, it says the club will also monitor with great interest as the decisions made in any other cases concerning the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. Obviously, Everton cannot comment on this matter any further until the appeal process has been concluded. Right.
Well, this is the problem with what we were just talking about backstage norm with what UEFA do and what the FA/Premier League do, and again, there's no consistency here, because I actually feel like, one, why was it Everton after all that's gone on with the big clubs? Everton's the first club you go after. It feels personal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I told my brother about it, and I was saying, I'm sure Everton are one of the few clubs that has never been relegated on. That exists in the current Premier League. I don't think they've ever been relegated once they got into the league. So this feels a little personal, because obviously you're 19th now, and if the players don't react to this, as in if their heads go down saying, right, we're in a relegation fight, and the mindset changes, because I thought they would get a bit of momentum, and it's ironic that we play them next. You know what I mean? I think the FA could have done this after our game. You know what I mean? Because you know what it might do is give them that siege mentality to say us against the world.
I think, I mean, that is a question. They are going to feel like that. You know what I mean? You're the team that's going to be meeting them. I think you play them. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
I think
Sunday. I can't remember what game.
I think it's Sunday we played. Yeah, I think it's Sunday.
But yeah, I mean, the fans. I mean, I feel sorry for the fans.
Yeah, Sunday 16:30 on Sunday, mate.
Yeah,
at Goodison as well.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Now we ain't been good on the road, and then now they've poked the bear, and then we go to their ground after they've been poked, and I feel it's a little harsh. The 10 points is harsh, I feel.
So you feel 10 points is harsh. I mean, the press obviously.
If they'd gone 5 points and a bigger fine, maybe, but the 10 points really put some. Yes, Alvin.
Yeah,
it just puts them right in the dogfight when they've kind of got their head above water a little bit, with some good results in the last couple of weeks before.
Yeah, no, because they really started to pick up. Because I mean, at the very early start of the season, it was looking a little bit roping, even to some points. So people were saying that there's a possibility that Everton might struggle this season, but they have kind of come good under Sean Dyche, and getting those 14 points, which I mean, listen, the God's honest truth is that, look, I don't see them getting relegated, even though there's 3 other teams that are worse than them.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say, and I think the whole point of their, it's gonna. I feel personally with the fans, how they've been treated, and you've got the press backing them and stuff like that. I feel that they're gonna be galvanized. And as you said, unfortunately, it's going to be you guys that are going to be,
going to go there next. And
what are you saying?
It was, and the other thing that will be key for them as well is Calvert-Lewin staying fit. I think him staying fit will make it easier for them to survive. But that's about Sean Dyche managing his minutes, managing his body, whatever. But I look at it and think, just the money that's in the Premier League right now and the dogfight that it currently is, that 10 points is hard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. Especially when you wait for it, just dishing out big fines. You know what I mean?
So, but that's what I'm saying. I know you're saying. Yeah. I know you're saying about consistency, because obviously there's people that brought up the Man United situation where a couple of seasons ago they broke the FFP rules, the same profit sustainable rules, but it was during the period, I think the COVID period, and I think their move was reset the protocols, and what happened, it kind of messed everything up, and because of that, it ended up with you guys running at a loss of 43 million euros or something like that. And then hence you ended up getting fined 300. But that's UEFA rules. So I know what you're saying is you have UEFA rules and you've got Premier League rules. So if you was, say, done that under the Premier League rules, would they have treated you the same? Or is it, as some reporters are saying, I mean, you got Oliver Holt from the Mail on Sunday. I mean, if you listen to the strong language, he's not swearing. He's basically said, Everton, I mean, I'm just wondering if people are going a little bit over the top. You might disagree, you might agree. But it says Everton are blood sacrifice to show the Premier League can bring order to the Wild West. They have given notice that the consequences will be if I can say it, apocalyptic, right? Basically disastrous if other clubs are guilty. So in other words, it's almost like Everton have been the one that have lamb to the slaughter. They've been the ones that have, have said, "Here, you're the example. Don't do it again, because if this happens, all the other clubs, you've seen what's happened to Everton. This will happen to you." But will that put them off? I don't know. This is the questions I want to throw out. As what your thoughts as well?
I think it is. It is.
Yes. What's up?
Yes. What's up? Questions. I think it is exactly that. They put out a bit of a precedent, and in a sense of everyone else is going to want to try their best to stay in order, because there are some clubs out there that just cannot afford to take such a hit, especially if they backdate charges. So someone put it in the chat, if that's one charge, how much is 100 plus? Like, for example, City's case of different breaches of conduct. Even for Chelsea,
but you see what you said about City is like someone was saying to me that with City, some of the stuff is repeat offending. So it's not. So even though it's 115, some of them might be 3 or 4 of the same count or the same rule. And here's a thought as well. And when it comes to revenue, if they go after City and Chelsea hard and put them in a situation where they could get relegated, you know how much money they're going to lose from sponsorship with City and Chelsea and the league. The Premier League is not going to do that. They are not going to have City and Chelsea out of the league.
This is what people have been saying, that will they chuck out Chelsea or Liverpool or Man City out of the league?
No, if you think about it, Norm, TNT, BT Sports, all the networks, right? They rely on these big games: Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool. Like, if them games ain't happening because them clubs get dumped because of this, they say, okay, you know what? Since you got rid of all these big games by your silly fines and point deductions, we want half our money back. That's where the money is made in the big games. And that's not being disrespectful to your Bournemouths and teams like that, but Luton's. But you see the viewing when Chelsea play Arsenal or Man United play Liverpool or Tottenham play Arsenal. The viewings are through the roof.
Yeah.
So if them big clubs get hit, we're going to get relegated here. It ain't going to happen unless they got no sense in the way they're running the Premier League. They won't want them big clubs being dumped into the lower leagues, even for one season. The money that they lose in one season, it's not worth it. So you're going to see, are they going to be as harsh? Or do they have to backpedal on Everton?
Isn't that just hypocritical then? I mean, Everton then are used like a scapegoat. It's just they're the easy pocket. I think maybe they looked at it as this, and I've heard people on other podcasts saying that, the point deduction of 10 points to Everton, I think they look at it as to say, well, look, I think that Everton, the way they're playing, there's 3 or maybe 4 other teams that are worse than them. So it won't look so bad. But if Everton do end up going down, I mean, listen, there's talk that Leicester want to sue them, because there's talk that Leicester want to sue them for and Leeds, because they went down last season, and now because the Premier League didn't act when they should have acted, then now this is where it's come around now, where they've lost a point. So they're saying there's a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a possibility that a further 9 points deduction could be added on top of that, because it's all to do with profits.
On top of Everton?
Yeah.
You're asking to go back in time, and you can't do that, because then you're also saying that they could have stayed up and X, Y, and Z, and then you open up.
I think what they're asking for is compensation. So it's not more of a say, well, look, we should be reinstated back into the Premier League, because that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, it's like saying, say S for argument's sake, or D, say you finish, say Man City were found guilty or whatever, we were second for 93% of the time last season,
right?
And they said, right, we'll give you the Premier League.
No, Premier title, right.
Would you take it?
No,
would you feel
that's
like
asterisk, big asterisk?
No, because like I said, asterisk is there. Every other fan base is going to be cutting you guys out, saying, "Oh man, what kind of nonsense is that?" Absolutely. You know what I mean? It's like when it's always. I think that they've put themselves in a position where now, if they backpedal, they're going to look like fools. But I think they might have to backpedal on this one, And then like you're saying, oh, because the bottom three are so poor they can survive it. But if they lose Private Lewin and maybe two others through injury or whatever, and suddenly that team doesn't look as good.
And
they could get relegated.
It sounds crazy what I'm saying. It sounds crazy what I'm saying. It sounds almost like the Premier League is taking a gamble with this. But
I think
what they're trying to say is that the same way they've treated Everton, and as WhatsApp said, or somebody said that 125 or 115 charges. Listen, some of those charges, is about how long the grass was and what the badge.
That's right. Yeah.
But surely, even if there was 2 or 3 of where we, about financial doping that's going on, where they've got offshore accounts and stuff like the stuff with Chelsea. I mean, Ez, you might want to just maybe shed a little bit of light on that as well, because all of a sudden, as soon as this Everton thing come up, all of a sudden now we're hearing that Everton, Chelsea, and Man City are going to end up being relegated. Yeah. They're going to get 30-point deductions, blah, 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 blah. Now, what is your take on it in terms of, you go back to Willian, you go back to Etu, you go back to Eden Hazard, who should have come to us. I think Etu was meant to come on a free to you, but apparently something was paid to their what you call them? To the club intermediary. I think something like 50 million.
Yeah, sport agents,
came from an offshore account.
Yeah, but Norm, this is what goes on, right? Just say you get a top manager in, right, and you have to fire a manager and do a compensation, and the manager's new deal. Just rather say the manager's new deal is going to earn 8 million for the season as the manager. This is what clubs will do, right? They say, right, listen, we're going to run you your 4 million through the books, right? And then Adidas are going to give you your other 4 million. But we sorted that. Adidas is going to do that. It's not going to come through the books. Straight away, you're mugging the system off.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're saying rather than put the whole 8 million through the books and then suddenly we'll push them over, Adidas or Nike or Puma, whoever is the shirt sponsor, through there, they're going to pay you the second half of that wage. And it will come, like you say, from the offshore account. Like, we're registered now in Cayman Islands. Man United, registered in Cayman Islands now. That's not a coincidence. 25% Jim. He can only spend 60 days a year in England because he don't live here. He lives in Monaco.
Well, there you go.
For the same tax price. Now, I'm not knocking him.
Yeah,
right.
But because obviously people are going to look for loopholes. They're going to look for loopholes.
Right, no.
But I suppose the big question is that if these FFP rules are set and clubs are breaking these FFP rules, and laws and stuff like that, but they're trying to find ways around it. But at the end of the day, businesses, they have rules and whatever. Even when you're doing your own tax returns and that, you're always looking for loopholes and stuff like that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if rules are broken, and I think the problem is like with the Man City stuff, 115 charges, they were charged. We heard this February, gone. We're still waiting. Everton was like, book, bang. Yeah? It was just...
Yeah, it feels personal.
You know what I mean? So it does feel personal. Yeah. I mean, Ez, just with the whole Chelsea stuff.
Chelsea's... I feel like Chelsea's are a little bit different to everyone else's, not because of what's taking place. But Chelsea's the one that's gone to UEFA and gone to the Premier League and said, wait a minute, we've made a mistake. Not that we've been investigated before and caught out red-handed. These mistakes were from Chelsea's investigation on their own due diligence on Roman's books. Now, they've gone to UEFA and UEFA said, thank you for letting us know. I tell you what, because you've been good and done that, which you didn't have to, we're going to fine you 8 million. Which obviously is nothing, but obviously you can see that's also a message to everyone else.
But Ez, that's you. That's UEFA.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there. Because, as I said, they went to the Premier League and UEFA. UEFA dealt with theirs quick. The Premier League is still doing they're making their decision on what they're going to do.
Exactly.
And you can see the two difference in the two different camps. UEFA goes, done. The Premier League is going, not quite sure. Now, I think what's happening here, if I'm reading between the lines, and D, you might have something, because you kind of said something like this earlier. I think the Premier League are looking at themselves here and saying, hold on, if we say that this is a mistake, we would have approved this, because they had to approve the whole Chelsea's books when they done the sanctioning and when they done the whole, not just the sanctioning, but the whole club takeover from Bowley. They had to do their due diligence then.
Yeah.
They had an opportunity then to scrutinize accounts, and they didn't.
Right.
So,
Exactly, because if you look as well, you look how quickly they made Roman. Well, between the government and the Premier League, how quickly they made Roman give that club up and sell it.
Quick.
So that was the time to investigate it.
Absolutely.
So that's why I feel like for Chelsea, I think the odds already vote because you allowed Roman to sell the club, knowing full well where allegedly some money was coming from or wasn't coming from. And then suddenly now you're on board. Come on, man.
You got to think about what the reason Roman's club was being sanctioned for. It was for dodgy dealings. Yeah,
exactly.
we know. So surely at that point you do an investigation then.
Exactly.
And not just that, you're going to sell it.
So, Ez, what you're saying? What
I'm saying, to round up what I'm saying is, for the Premier League to now clamp down on Chelsea, almost it feels like part 2 of the sanctions. They would have to admit that they didn't do their due diligence or when the sale was going through to Bowley.
Exactly, bro.
And is that the same? I know it's slightly different with the Tottenham situation because now Tottenham has reared its head with the Defoe situation.
Right,
and the agent, agent. He was what's the name? Agent, proper agent, registered agent. So the Premier League approved it, and there's the guy that's doing. I was listening to Talk today, and the guy that's doing the investigation work, the guy Sky, who's a top football agent. He's got loads of people in his books and that, and I think he's trying to sue. I don't know if it's Tottenham or whatever, because obviously he's lost out. Yeah. So now there's this situation now where they've gone back to 2009 or wherever it is. Yeah, where Defoe was sold to Portsmouth, and Harry read that at the time, who was managing Portsmouth, said he didn't know that the agent wasn't not a registered agent, right? But you're not allowed. The rules then back then was if you are dealing with a unregistered agent that you'll be deducted or fined or whatever it is. Now they're going back retrospective, and I suppose it's the same. The Premier League have not done their due diligence, as you said.
Oh no. So the only way Chelsea get penalised is if the Premier League can find a way to penalise Chelsea without incriminating themselves or putting themselves in the fold of taking accountability, which is very hard because Chelsea, in Chelsea's case, they have gone, hold on, Mr. Premier League, we've spotted something and we think you should know. And this is us being honest, and hopefully from this, you can see we going forward are trying to run this ship correctly, and I think now if they punish that, you're punishing honesty compared to punishing someone that's been caught out red-handed and would have continued to play by and lie.
In the cookie jar.
I think what some people are saying is right. Yeah, but Todd Bowley has put his hand up and said, "Listen, yo,
I've inherited this. I've inherited
this. But some people are saying, well, look, I hear what you're saying, Todd, but you still broke, not you per se, but the club under a brand.
But Norman, if the club is under new ownership and they should have gone after Roman, because this is why I think deep down they feared Roman, I think they feared Roman deep down,
But that's what I'm trying to say.
The Premier League would have done it.
No, but the Premier League, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. This whole thing where I put in a title about Everton being sanctioned, these deducted 10 points, has opened up a can of worms. Because as you just rightly said, if the Premier League come after you guys and say, blah, 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 we're going to deduct X amount of points or whatever that is, you could rightfully turn around and say, well, listen, we've been honest and upfront with you. You know what I mean? Why are you going after us? Because we're under new ownership, blah, blah, blah. You cannot be now, well, some people say going back retrospectively, but it's going to be the same for the Man City as well. So it's a whole can of worms, and there's going to be lawsuits. There's going to be
it's going
to be a madness.
If you look what Man City did with UEFA, right? Man City just tied up. They just got the best lawyers money could buy.
Oh yes,
tied them up, didn't they? Literally just tied them up. And so, okay,
as well. So quiet.
Right. And that's the other thing. It's like what gets leaked in the press allegedly. Because sometimes I think the Premier League leaks stuff to reporters, just for clout or whatever's going on there. And this what still happens, Norman. The brown envelopes under the table still happen, bro.
Yep.
And this is the problem with football. It's never going to be clean. And not just in our league. We're talking Italy, Spain, all of them. The brown envelopes still happen. The meetings in dodgy bars still happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully away from prying eyes.
Yeah.
And
but I think just go back to the Everton thing, because obviously they're the ones right now earning the lamb to the slaughter, so to speak. And obviously they're basically saying, we're trying to put money into our infrastructure, you know what I mean, building the stadium and that. But really what they were doing was saying, actually, the money that they were saying, that's the loss. The money they were claiming, the money that we were putting in, they were claiming that on their books as losses, when actually in fact it wasn't. Do you know what I'm going to say? Yeah, all right.
Says, bring up yourself, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So let's get back. Yeah. So in terms of the losses, that they were trying to claim against, like the infrastructure, building the stadium and so on and so on. But the Premier League said, no, you didn't stay within the rules that were set, and that the PRS rules, was basically, or PSR rules, should I say? PSR, it was that you went over the threshold, and therefore the penalty for that. I mean, I don't know how it's the biggest apparently in Premier League history, 10 points. I know there's other clubs like Middlesbrough have been done. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember who the other club was. Do you know what I mean? But
this is the other interesting thing. Imagine if Liverpool and Everton had gone ahead with the shared ground, which they were going to build on. I believe it was Stanley Park.
Yeah.
Just imagine if that had happened. Would the FA have looked at like how the two Milan clubs do the ground share and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? And so you wonder whether the FA would have.
We say, brother, bro.
Yes, Chile dog. It was You wonder if they would have gone after them that way. If they had gone ahead with the venture those years back to build that. I think it was like a 90-seater stadium or whatever it was going to be. I mean, and so I always look at the Premier League with a side eye, because I feel like the money.
We got Jay. We said,
come
and join the conversation, Jay. I know I know you have a lot to say when it comes to this whole shenanigans going on. The whole can of worms has been opened up. Listen, you probably heard us talking about it, and just want to kind of get your thoughts on the whole Everton thing, the whole Man City thing. Ez kind of was, talking about the Chelsea situation where, the Todd Bowleys have, admitted that, listen, this we found these dodgy books. It's nothing to do with us. This is what we found, blah, 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 blah. What are your thoughts? And do you think the 10 points that Everton got was too harsh? The other questions are thrown in today. Will this galvanise them? I know you're going to be playing them this weekend, so I know I'm throwing a lot at you. So let me just hear what you got to say.
What was Everton's overspend? Well, what was
it was about 24 something.
That's
like
what I thought.
Yeah, about 24 mil. Yeah,
this is what I thought. Right, it wasn't, to me, 10 points. Yes, Junior, 10 points was harsh, man.
Yeah, that's why I said yeah.
But I think the reason why they're doing it is because they're trying to show they can govern themselves. We don't need your football regulator. Leave us to it. We'll take care of our own business, right? Which, clearly, I just think they've gone over the. I think 10 points is harsh, but but if you go 10 points, what are you going to do for the club that's got 100?
This is what I said, Jay.
I knew that was coming.
So, Jay,
well, come on then. What do you think should happen? I mean, at the moment they've been charged with 115 charges. Yeah, some of them are a little bit silly, like the long grass.
I get that.
But surely, out of those 115, Jay, that means it's got to be at least 2.
They're saying
there's
at least
2 where there's financial statement.
They're saying it's about 35 charges there, or something like that. That are real, like hanging a hat on it charges. I'm telling you now, my brother Andrew said to me, they need to do a Juventus. And he's right.
Yeah, because remember what happened to Mama Juventus? I have to take that.
Yeah. But D, I know they need to do a Juventus, but as you said, if Chelsea or Man City go out the Premier League, that's not good for the Premier League.
No, it's not.
It's not good for the Premier League.
But the thing about the Premier League is, though, guys, like Juventus leaving Italy is massive.
It is,
Juventus leaving Italy is like kicking Man United at the Premier League.
Yeah.
The biggest branded team you've got.
And yet they made an example of Juventus.
Yet they made.
I couldn't believe it. I thought, wow, they've really gone in on them.
Whereas kicking Man City out and kicking, Chelsea out for a seat, I think they can. The Premier League will easily survive that. Easily, because it's got so much other big branded clubs in there. You've still got Man United. You've still got Arsenal. You've still got whoever. It's Toplands,
But Jay, this is what I said to Norman.
That's right. Typical Man City supporter.
I tell you, man, see Chile, man.
Oh boy!
Like I'm saying to Norm, right? The way they've done the deals with TNT and Sky and stuff, like those big games, like so when all of our teams could have played City and Chelsea, if they get dumped, they're going to say, okay, you've taken a decision to potential real big money earner for us streaming wise. So you know what? Pay that money back. And the Premier League are not going to want to pay Sky or TNT that money back. And that's why I don't think they'll put Chelsea and Man City in a position that they get relegated, Jay. Even if they go after them.
I think they have to go after them hard because you can't do 10 points for Everton.
On Everton, right?
You can't do 10 points for Everton and then don't come down even harder. Chelsea's maybe not as bad. Chelsea's not in the same league as Man City.
Yeah, exactly.
Chelsea's not a kick them out. Chelsea's a deduct them a few points. It's not a kick them out. Man City's a kick them out.
And the thing is, if they kick them out, Pep's gone, Because I watched the interview with Pep, and Pep said, he said to them, if you've lied to me, then I'm gone. He's told the owners that if you lied to me about the stuff I asked you about, but then Pep must know that the brown envelopes were moving. He must know that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be that naive to say, all that we're doing over the last how many years, and there's no brown envelopes involved, or there's no offshore Cayman Island accounts going backward and forward, and you know what I mean? It's Bahamas. That's why they do it as well.
Guys, I mean, listen. If you work in a company and rules are set, rules are there. If you break the rules, you pay the consequences. Yeah. But it's just like when it comes to football, as you said, there's so much backhanders going on.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? And the thing is, they've set a precedent with I mean, I suppose Everton are gonna appeal this 10 points. Do you think it will be reduced down to maybe say 5 points, or do you think they're going to say no? You know what? This is what it is. It's 10 points. Blah blah blah.
Well, it's an independent because it's a Premier League. It's that independent committee. So the Premier League now on appeal would have to employ an independent committee who would take all the facts again and they will review. I think they'll probably reduce it. Most things get reduced on appeal. It's very rare they go up, isn't it?
Right. But then this is what you're going to happen. Then is the teams that they downfall to get to 19th, they get the 5 points up and they leapfrog 4 or 5 teams again. Them teams are going to get in their feelings, Jay, and they're going to appeal and say, "Whoa, hold on! You sanctioned them. They should be 19th, not 17th or 16th now."
Yeah, but guys, you know what? I think it's something they should do for the following season.
Yes, Kofi, big up, man.
Just Kofi, man.
Yes, guys.
Oh, as in start on a minus, because you remember, I think they started on a minus, didn't they?
Yeah, they did that in the championship with Leeds as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They started Leeds on a minus thing, and I think it was a championship or League One. I can't remember. And they started on a minus.
Which is wild as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's worse, staying in the Premier League and starting off with a minus 10 points, or taking a minus 10 points in a third of the way into the season, because that's what it is, really. Isn't it? We're a third of the way in 12 games.
Whatever they do to Man City, especially. I think we should separate Man City and Chelsea because I think they're two different things. Chelsea's one is a few brown envelope backhanders. Man City's is systemic.
Get it?
They came into money.
Man said that. Man said
That's
that.
just, you know, I love that.
In other words, I can't stand them. Just say, Jake, I can't stand them.
You know what it is? The honest truth is, right, and you guys will know this. I wanted, last year, you asked me, who did I want to win the title? And I told you, I wanted Man City to win the title. Why? Because I don't really value them as anything. I never have. They're just like...
Hey, listen, don't hurt Chili's feelings, you know. He's in the chat, man.
Has he gone back to Man City?
I think he's the first.
Yeah, I think he's on that. He's on the brim, mate. Yeah, I think all them Tottenham
games, didn't it?
Yeah, them Tottenham injuries have got to him. I think he's jumped the ship again. You know what I mean?
But you know what? Right, this whole Pep Guardiola thing, not knowing. Oh, you know, I believe everything that. I don't know if you guys know this. I know Delway follows American sport, right? But have you seen what's happened in college football with the Michigan coach?
Yes, yeah. What's the name? Stephen A was talking about it.
Right?
Yeah.
So basically, this American college coach. Remember, these American college coaches earn millions and millions.
Yeah, big money, you know. Yeah,
big money, right? And you're not allowed to video other teams' signals.
Right,
yeah.
So this guy who works for him got caught videoing signals, and apparently it's gone back like a whole year or something.
Yeah.
So the coach is saying, I didn't know. And they're saying, well, look, hold on a minute. So this guy is just like a regular employee. When I looked at his salary, it was on like $50,000 or something. So they're like, how can this man afford to go to all of these college games where the college ticket prices, we're talking is hundreds and thousands of dollars to get a ticket. Yeah. And this man is going to all of these games, filming all the signals, coming back, bringing them to the team. He's standing on the sideline with the coaches. You know, if a man's standing on the sideline with the coaches, you can look at it, the coach is going to look at who's this guy? You know that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you know who he is. Exactly, yeah.
And I think football managers like Pep Guardiola, they ain't nothing that passes him by. You can't ever take that I didn't know route. You can't take that route.
No, you can't now.
You can't take that. It's the same way khaki pants, whatever they call it, hardball. He can't take that. He couldn't go around and say, I didn't know. So now they've I mean, it's a stupid rule anyway, but now they've suspended him for X amount of games or whatever it is.
Wow. Well, listen, it's that absolutely crazy. But as I say, we'll have to see what happens with this appeal. If has Everton actually put it in yet? Has it been lodged? Have they lodged the appeal yet?
I don't think they've lodged it yet. No, I haven't heard they've lodged.
I think because of the international break. But I think as soon as it resumes, I think they will lodge it.
Right.
Because you know, I said to Norman earlier before you came on that with us as well, going to Goodison on Sunday, and we ain't been good away from home. It's actually the wrong because they poked the bear. Yeah, that's the wrong team to be going to on the weekend of that. Because now, like I said, Norman, they'll have that siege mentality. And it's us that goes there first, you know what I'm saying? Because now Everton will say it's us against the road now. That they'll be in their feelings. So this one.
The other thing as well, this is Kofi, your club has been calling for Man City or for the investigation to be sort of pushed on much quicker than what it is now.
Deservedly so. Because you know they can't be sitting in limbo and they're just enjoying all the trophies and premierships and whatever cups they're gonna collect this season. So they want some resolve before the 24-25 season starts. So they're pushing for the Premier League to get this matter wrapped up as quick as possible because they're saying it's been dragging on too long. And I suppose everybody's then pointing the finger back to Everton to say, look how quick that was. And, this situation with Man City, it's been going on a long time. The charges have been set out already. Everybody knows that they've been charged. But as I said, I think you said it earlier on, that Man City, they've got the lawyers, they've got all the professionals.
So everyone
drag this thing out.
It's about money, Norm. It's about money. And I think if Everton had if Everton had the City money, I don't think they come down as hard as Everton on that. Bearing in mind, Everton are building a new ground as well, Norm.
Yeah, that's
so
the thing.
That take into account as well.
Do you think it's a case that Everton was? They talk about people punching above their weight. Now, Everton purchased a Wolby for 40 million. I couldn't believe it. Right, 40 million a Wolby.
They spent money, They spent
money. They spent money. Yeah. And I think what they were trying to do is because at the time Ustinov was on the board. Yeah. That didn't go well because obviously the Ukraine stuff happened, and then he had to end up moving all his assets and whatever out. So they lost that chunk of investment or whatever it was. Yeah. So you've got the Ustinov thing going there in terms of them investing in their team on the field. Then obviously people, I think 7-7 were involved with. I don't know if they're currently the ones that are involved. There was another consortium that went in for them but pulled out. So financially, things they weren't running. They weren't running the club properly. The owners weren't running the club properly. And so I suppose the question is, I know it sounds crazy, but are they deserving of getting this 10 points because of the way they run their club? Even though you're saying it's harsh what the Premier League has done, but then when you look at the way they've been running their clubs in the last couple of years, they've been running at a loss for a long time. And then what they've been trying to then do is go and buy. Say again?
They're probably not the only ones, though, no?
I know that.
In terms of running at a loss, year after, there's probably a lot of football clubs like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to start finding people for badly run football clubs, don't look no further than my club.
Exactly. Over $1 billion in debt, Norms.
Yeah, but look at your fan base, mate. Look at the amount of money.
I know.
And that's why they can get away with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Everton can't because they haven't got any other additional revenue coming in. Yeah. So what their hope was that they buy what they thought was decent players. That didn't work out for them. The building of the stadium, that was kind of like, it's still happening. But do you know what I mean? I think the worst thing about it for the last couple of seasons, they have been sort of flirting with relegation. Right, to the point as if they did end up going down, you know what I mean? They would have been running at an even worse loss than what it is now. Because
even I don't think even the parachute money would have saved them if they got relegated last season instead of Leicester or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
even though, that's what I'm saying, so even though some people might say the 10 points was harsh, but you got to run your shit better than that. Everton are, they're a big enough club. You know what I mean? They've been in the Premier League, whatever, and they were one of the founder members of the Premier League, so they do make up a very important part of history and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, no club is too good to go down.
Right. And then as well, the Merseyside derby is still a big derby, and it's a derby that generates trophy, and it generates good money.
Of course. I mean, there's
biggest waste of time derby on the calendar.
See this guy, man.
It is. No, what I mean, Kofi. What I mean by that, Kofi.
Talk. Let me hear you.
Honestly, there's only ever one result. There's two results. There's only two results in that derby. Liverpool win or they draw. That's it. Everton never win the game.
But bro, you have like families, like they're joined.
I get that. I understand that. I understand.
Yeah, there's that. But man, come on, have some ambition. Everton, have some ambition. Yeah, once in the blue moon, they're winning the game. Don't you get bored?
When was the last one? But when was the last one? Can you remember?
Yeah, long time in it since Everton.
I couldn't say the last.
Yeah, when was the last time Everton beat you guys?
They actually won during COVID.
Is it
COVID?
Yeah,
no one was watching. See, that's why. Remember, during COVID, Ollie couldn't lose a game away from home. And then when we got the fans back,
he was killing it, wasn't he? Because there was no fans there.
When the fans came back in the ground, it was all a different story.
Yeah.
Well, look, we need the Merseyside derby. Otherwise, it's just going to be boring.
I consider the last time I watched.
We need like the kids to go back to school and say bragging rights. Look.
Yeah, I hear that. Because it's very political, doesn't it? Like the local derbies, starting with you and Tottenham. As much as I always feel like our biggest derby is Liverpool rather than Man City. I've always said that. that I went a few times with my brother, to Old Trafford at a derby with Liverpool, and it was insane, Norm. Just the tension even before the game start, you could feel the tension in the ground. I said, man, once this game kicks off, this ground's going to explode.
Yeah.
So
I've been home and away. I've been home and away.
I went to Anfield. I can't remember what I went to Anfield. My younger brother's a Liverpool fan, and be honest with you, bro, I was nervous at Anfield, man. I was glad to get home. You know, the ones.
yeah. Listen, when I came out the away end
to get home.
When I came out the away end, right, there's like the turnstiles. There's a row of police officers on horses. So, and then you've got all the Liverpool fans behind, and they're just staring at you. They're like just watching to see what the Man United. Because no Man United fans have got any kit on.
Okay, right.
You can't wear your kit.
You can't wear your kits. You've all got your own clothes, and you'll see people in the toilets changing, putting the top on in the toilets. Yeah. No one's got their kit on in that game. It's a madness.
It's like going to Galatasaray. It's like going to the Turkey's games. Honestly,
I'm telling you,
wild. Yeah.
Remember the welcome to hell side. Welcome to hell.
Just quickly, just talking about rivalries, and I know this is, we're talking international. I mean, Argentina and Brazil. Just quickly, the madness. Argentina winning that game 1-0 again. That's 3 games on the bounce now. Brazil have lost. I'm not saying that their position is precarious in terms of qualifying for the World Cup, but 3 games on the bounce, and they haven't lost at home for God knows how long. So this is the first time that they've lost and against Argentina. But apparently the violence that was went on, the way the police. I mean, you had even the Argentinian, you had the Argentinian players going over and trying to drag some of the Brazilian police away because they were beating up on the Brazilian fans, and not only the Argentinian fans. And not only that, I heard that even the police were giving their batons, to the Brazilian supporters.
That was mad.
Oh my God!
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Norm as well though. Like, if you look at how I said to you earlier that game, it's so the Brazilian Argentina is such a personal game within the South American thing. And then if you look at the depletion of Brazil, as in they got some key players out as well. So you look at that and say,
because Vinicius and
have Brazil have they lost their recruiting? Because if their first 11 isn't fit, they're no longer fit, and that's my team. You know what I mean? But you say that they started 2 of your boys, Norm.
Yeah,
and they gave them both 5 out of 10 for performances. You know what I mean? So you got Martinelli, you got Jesus up front, and I'm saying, nah, we're gonna struggle tonight.
Yeah, but why do you have to go and bring my boys in there for? What are you going on with? You know what I mean? Listen, I hope when you go to Everton, they slap you up, bro. Right?
As soon as I saw the lineup, I said Jesus, Martinelli starting, Rafinha.
Well, you know what?
I was like, we're gonna struggle tonight.
Yeah,
he's a good player. He's a good player. It's more about Jesus up front now.
He had a shot. He got set up, and I think he set it straight at the keeper. But now Brazil, they're just a little bit off key. And going into into the international football. England. Question for you guys, right? England have been said that they touted as going into this competition as one of the favourites. And I suppose the question I want to ask you guys is, will they live up to their tag? Because the last couple of games I saw them, I thought, all right, I know they've qualified, but man, show me something. You know what I mean? And the both games, I didn't watch them all, but man, were they boring. Do you know what I mean?
Norman, we can move past this topic very quickly.
Okay, let's do this quick. Let's move on this quickly.
They're boring. Even if they're in the finals, they're boring.
You just look at the manager and you say no. You look at the manager and the FA won't get rid of him because he jumps through the hoops.
Yeah,
he's their yes man. He's their fall guy, and I think only the fans revolting would get them a more adventurous manager. I think with that group of players, take the handbrakes off. Let these guys play. Stop pigeonholing.
When you look at
Sterling's left at home, Sterling, and you take Rashford. Come on, man.
Yeah.
If we're talking form and stuff, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this brother, he don't know what he's doing. He don't, and
this whole thing about you have to be playing for your club side to actually. Rubbish. Yeah, he's obviously not sticking to that because obviously Slabhead has been starting for a couple of your games.
He has recently. This is the only team.
But before that, he was still picking it.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite, man. You know what I mean? You just look at that.
Then he said he had good results. I mean, his win percentage for England is actually quite good. And he's got us to what? He's got us to two semi-finals, quarter-final, and a final.
But what would you say? What would any of us say if we're supposedly supporters of big clubs? If you beat every little club that you face, and any time you face a side that's on your level or better, you lose.
Right.
That's Gareth Southgate.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's Gareth Southgate. Don't
there's a lot of these games. Of course, was it Macedonia they drew 1-1 with?
Yeah.
That should be a 6-0.
Did they come from behind?
Here you go. North Macedonia, Norm. Take the handbrake off and slap this lot 6-0. Nah, not Southgate.
Those guys are
and then he was complimenting them.
Those guys are janitors and pool cleaners and stuff
candlestick
like that.
makers, bakers, butchers, driving the local ambulance. Calm, bro. These guys are not playing in the top European leagues, Jay.
Honestly,
and you get a 1-1 draw. Come on.
When I look at the players that he picks, I just don't watch the games. I just got there's nothing there to inspire me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest England fan in the world anyway, so I wouldn't judge.
Bring up Scott, man. I haven't seen you for ages, mate.
Scott, you know.
Scott in the future, bro. How you doing, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah.
But you know what? The thing is, the English media big up like a lot of the players so much. Yes, they're talented players. I mean, they big them up like too much. They're not on that like French level or Spanish level where they're thoroughbreds in their technique and everything like that.
But you know what? You look at that side. I mean, listen. Obviously, you had Jude Bellingham missing because of injury, and then you've got the situation with where I don't know what Raheem Sterling has done to him. Why he's not playing? I really haven't got a clue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he got too much tattoos, Norms. I don't know. You know what I mean? Foolishness, isn't it?
Oh boy. You know what I mean?
And I think he's on form, Norm, isn't he?
Say that again, mate.
He's on good form, but he can't get in the England team. Playing for Chelsea, not even no scrub team. You play for Chelsea on great form, but you can't get an England nod. Okay. Man, if I was him, I'd just retire from international football. I'd be like, allow it, Gareth. You know what I mean? I'll see you when you get fired, yeah? I see you at the bridge watching the game when you get fired. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, nah, what are you doing here, Gareth? What are you doing, bro?
So if you look at England's attacking and their midfield, would you say they're strong in that department? And I think there's injuries. Obviously, you got injuries to Chilwell. You got injuries to Reece. He's always injured and that. So they're back.
Is John Stones back?
I don't think he's back yet. I don't think
he's injured as well. So
looking at is it their defense? Would you say is it their defense that's the is the problem because of injuries or what? And I know Southgate he plays this pragmatic football, and I said if there was a better coach that was more adventurous, maybe England do go on and win the Euros.
But the thing is, England have never known how to win a game ugly. Like you get to the finals and you get teams like let's take a South American team. They'll play ugly to like make sure
Italy.
You ain't getting the sniff of that ball. They'll make it hard for you to try and win that game.
You know the thing is as well, what you will find in majority of Euro finals or international finals, shall I say, the football ain't really fluent. It's literally quite scrappy. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to take that one brilliant moment, unless you got really bad. Do you know what I mean? But it's going to take that one brilliant moment for something to happen. Do you know what I mean? Mind you, say that. Was it when France went out to Argentina in the World Cup? I mean, that game, it was crazy after. I think Argentina won it. Did they win it in injury time or was it in penalties? I can't remember.
What, in the World Cup?
Yeah, was it injury time they won it in?
I think it was injury time, wasn't it?
It was in back end of the show, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was injury. Yeah, that was injury.
Injury time. Yeah.
That was probably one of the best games I've watched in a long time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
I'm saying that rivalry is
very kind of. You know what I mean?
Argentina, Brazil. Once both teams are fit, that is a great game to watch when it comes to rivalries in South American football. You know what I mean? But
is do you guys think international football is a step up? You know, they always say, "Oh, it's nothing like international football's another level." Yeah. Is it a step up though? Is it a step up for like Arsenal, Man United? Guys that are playing Champions League football.
Sorry.
Yes, Thomas. Yeah.
Hey.
Sometimes it's not, and they were talking about this on Talk Sport the other night, saying that they should actually separate the quality. That way, England don't play San Marino. Like all England games in Europe are against Italy, Spain, Germany, France. They're talking about it, saying that it's actually killing international football because you already know that this team is going to go nowhere near to competing. Now, the other thing they said is it's good for those players to say, I played against England with Harry Kane and Bellingham. But at the same time, it's not a respectable game of football. I'll throw Belgium in there as well. They're saying that all these teams should be in a different group to the minor leagues of Europe for the qualifications and let them scrap it out.
And that's the problem is because listen, we had this conversation some time back, maybe going back last year or the year before on this show about Harry Kane's, breaking Wayne Rooney's record and whatnot. And but look at the teams he's playing against. Come on, cry out loud. Do you know what I mean?
It's not respectful.
You're right, you say, D. These guys should really play against. Because what happens is when they get to the latter stages, it's like England don't know what to do because the teams that they're up against
are better, are good.
Yeah,
they're just good.
It's almost like but Jay, it's almost like playing a team that's in Europa Conference League rather than which is 3 leagues removed from the Champions League. And that's what they were saying, that maybe they create a Conference League version of the Euros for your San Marinos and all that, and then they could actually win that and say we won the European Conference League rather than barely getting into the group stages. And if they do get in the group stages, finishing bottom without a win,
100%. That's a good point.
And a minus 12 goal difference. And I thought that's a good idea. I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
It just makes international football more competitive.
So just on that, can I just ask a quick question? How many world-class players do you think England have got then? World-class players.
World-class. Ooh.
Okay, come on. Let's go for it, guys. Put it in the chat. How many world-class players are in that England team?
Goodness.
I'll tell you my number.
Go on.
Yeah. 2.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
I'm going to try and... What's that? I saw some balloons.
No. Yeah, I got this because on my Mac, if I do certain things, right, I get all these. Like,
yeah.
You're just a little show off. That's what you are. No. That's Jay celebrating celebrating the Glazers leaving.
Yeah.
God,
this is how we feel right now.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
I like their features. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, we'll come back to that question, Scott. And this is concerning Varane. D?
Yeah.
We'll come back to that question. But just, I want to guess the 2 that Jay said. Let's all go around the table. Kofi, me, D, and anybody in the chat. Who are the 2 world-class players that Jason has picked?
For me, and the second one is a stretch yet. He's got to prove himself. I would say...
don't say yes yet, Jason. Don't say yes yet.
No, I would say Kane and... Jude Bellingham, and Jude Bellingham is a stretch because he's only just got to Real Madrid. After that, I don't see a world class player there.
Okay, so Tom.
So Jude is
Geezer's putting Rice for me and Saka, right?
Basmati.
That's his opinion, man. That's his opinion, bro. That's his opinion, right? Right. You're saying Jude and Kane.
Kane, yeah.
What Scott's saying.
Saka's got the potential as well, I'd say. Yeah.
All right, Chile, take it easy, bro.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Chile.
Chile's gone for Harry, Kane, and Jude.
Yeah.
Scott's gone Kane, Jude gets it in for me with Saka a close third. Right, for me, I would say Jude, and Kane. I would probably actually agree with Scott.
Yeah.
Kofi, what's your say? What do you say, Kof? Kof don't care. Henderson?
And the thing is,
when I saw Henderson on the team sheet, in the squad and all that,
you have to scratch your head in it.
I just couldn't be bothered. I just flick next.
And that means, Jay, he's taking him to a tournament.
Yeah, next, man.
He's taking him, regardless of where he's
going to Saudi Arabia, and he's still getting the next.
Exactly, and Sterling can't get a look. But all right, cool.
Just quickly, what do you think about this ruling about the 7 clubs saying about clubs going between loaning players?
Yeah,
owned by the thing again. What, Jay? You're looking at going, bro. Give me some reactions.
So I'll answer the question first about the 2. So you guys are right. That's my 2.
Yeah.
Right.
June. I mean, to me, I think Scott said it. June's generational.
Yeah,
the kid has gone to Real Madrid.
What that guy is doing at Real Madrid?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
mad.
It's ridiculous. He's gone to Real Madrid and said, "And what? At 20, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
Literally, I am him.
I am that one. Yeah,
you know, he can say that right now.
Yeah,
you know, but people say, "Oh, wait till he stops scoring," and the Madrid fans turn on him. I said, I don't see it.
No
I
way.
just don't see it.
No, Madrid fans turn on their own Spanish legends. The Madrid fans turn on anyone.
Exactly. Yeah, they do.
So I won't be surprised if they turn on him eventually. But probably not for now, because he's still in his prime and all that sort of stuff.
So, Jay, what you thinking about this thing where they're ruling against players going on loan between?
So I think this rule, my understanding, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, was they was only voting on this rule for January because the Premier League are looking to put some kind of rule in place about this in the summer.
Right.
Now, to me, the Premier League clubs, and maybe it was some of the littler clubs were probably digging at a lot of the big clubs. So I'm thinking all the big clubs voted against that.
You'd be quite surprised, D. I mean, Jay, Sheffield United were one of the clubs that voted against it. So, in other words, because they've got affiliations, because you got clubs that have got multi.
Owners.
Like Man City, I think they've got about 300. I'm not saying 300.
No, but I thought the little clubs. That's what I'm saying. I thought.
Right, yeah.
I think it's Arsenal and the Manchester United that we don't want them to do it. We won't want them to do it, but they don't care. They're like, listen, you lot up there, you think you're the man. Let them come and get one. But I think we need to do something about this, because what you'll find is, imagine this, right? Benzema goes to Saudi Arabia. Newcastle have a bit of trouble, and they say, they just tell you, go and give me Benzema. And we'll just write down on a bit of paper like we're doing a 3-month loan for him. It's dodgy. It's dodgy because I own 4 clubs or 5 clubs in Saudi Arabia. I could basically go and get whoever I want from those 5. I think I could probably go to
But Jay, they were talking about a similar thing. If 25% Jim's thing gets sanctioned, that he may just take Nice's best centre back, and give him to Eric Ten Hag.
No, but it's the same thing. I think they should put them all in there because it's dodgy.
Yeah.
But obviously for the Saudis, it's even bigger because they're going out getting the best players in the world now, offering them ridiculous money. At the moment, none of them are biting in their prime. Most of them are saying, we'll wait a while. But it's going to get to the point where some are going to bite. So imagine they could say, Newcastle, you got a bit of problems. All right, we did get Messi in the end. He didn't go into Miami. Go get him. Go get Benzema because he's short of strike. It's going to get silly, isn't it?
Yeah. So for the smaller clubs, it's going to be a bit of a
because it will be just they'll keep moving the goalposts as well, and then it just becomes a circus, and then you can't take football seriously anymore.
So I think
which nobody wants. Yeah.
I think January come in. There's nothing we can do about it. but I think the Premier League will put some rules in place, and I think they should, because
for the summer, it's
just because at the end of the day, the integrity of the game is at stake. And there's too many questions.
It's been at stake for a long. Listen, it's been at stake for a long time. So it's just another one.
I haven't got a problem with clubs owning multiple. I haven't got a problem with a multi-club ownership model, as long as you've got the right things in place to sort of protect it. Like you shouldn't just be able to just go to Jim comes. We shouldn't be able to just go and take their best centre back, and because we don't want to pay a fee, we say they're loaning into us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, we've got problems.
Jay, expect that to happen.
We've got problems in January with Salah.
Oh, go. Go.
Is he out of contract in the summer, Kofi?
No, but still, I mean,
they're coming back.
Pressure.
They're coming back. They said they're coming back. They said they're coming back.
They're coming for you.
Look, we're coming for Saka if that happens.
Listen. Anyway, listen. There was a question.
That's why I heard. I heard that if Salah goes, they're gonna pull the stops out for Saka. Drop a like 140 million.
No, he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere, brother. There was a question earlier on from Scott, and to follow up with this one as well, so kind of hit it with two things. And this was obviously to you, D, and obviously Jay. He says, "What's going on with Varane? And do you still think Eric Ten Hag is the man for the job? They have to back someone else. It's just a revolving door." So your quick thoughts on that before we move on to the next.
Quickly, if you look at Varane told Eric about his mother and his father, boy. They fell out, and in that fallout,
is that true?
Yeah. Apparently, he knocked the door, and I had to say to him like, what are we doing here? And apparently, it's not just him, Jay. And this is why I said about the dressing room being very split now under this manager. And so what Scott was saying about the revolving door, I'm not saying fire him, but he got to chill a little bit as a manager. I'm not saying you can't be a disciplinarian, but there's no one at Old Trafford that's telling me that Maguire and Evans is better than Varane, even with Varane's injury record. So they're saying that Varane wants gone in January. That's how bad it's gone. And so I'm like, he goes in January, we're not replacing him, Jay. He'll play Luke Shaw at left centre back when he's fit. And he's saying, because Harry can only play one side and Harry's a form player, that's why Varane's on the bench. Get out of here. And I get it. You can't tell us that, we had a falling out. That's never going to, unless someone leaks it. But that's what they're saying, that they're falling out. And it's like, I don't want to play for this guy anymore. I'm good. I'm Rolls Royce, the Wraith, Varane. You know what I mean? That's his nickname. He's like, hold on, I've done it all. Like, I'm doing you a favour at Old Trafford, but you benching me. It's like, it reminds me of the Allen Iverson thing. Why, we're talking about practice, we're talking about the game. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of. It's like, come on, don't do it like that.
Question, because you seem quite, I don't know for Jason, but for you seem quite irritated by Eric Ten Hag. You seem a little bit irritated. Let me finish. Go on. So you seem quite irritated about him. And when he first came to the club, best thing since sliced bread, eh?
Yeah, because he sold us a dream home.
Can I ask you a question? How do you feel about him now than what you felt about him when you first come to the club? And
do you answer first? I'll give my answer. You answer.
He's not playing Ajax football. That's what he promised us in that press conference. He said, what was it? Eras are meant to be broken. We got slapped by Liverpool. We got slapped by Man City. Like, you've done a lot of talking, bro. And you drew us in. He drew us in, Norm. I'm still waiting to see the Ajax football. 400 million, Norm. You spent 400 million of my club's money, and I'm not seeing Ajax football. In fact, you're benching the people that you brought in. He's benched Mount. He's benched Anthony. You can't be benching the people that you brought in.
Okay, so
I'm talking about, and this is my frustration, Norm. I think he's mugging me off right now. He got to prove me wrong.
Okay, so
I'm not saying fire him because I think we've done that too often, Jay.
Okay, wait. Question. So he's mugging you off. Would you have any problems if what's his name? Your new owner, Ratcliffe.
Just say Rat. Just remember the Rat, Norm. The Rat.
The Rat. Yeah. If the Rat came in I say, yo, let me leg off some bullets, yeah? Yeah, man has to shift out, yeah?
Ten Hag's catching the first stray.
Yeah, so he's going to catch the first stray. Would you
have any problems?
Would you have any problems with that?
Well, this is the thing. It's not about having problems. If they come in and we put, because remember, we've been complaining that we've had no footballing people at the top. These are all bankers at the top. You put footballing people in with a proper director of football, and the director of football like turns up at Carrington and watches what's going on and goes back to him and says, listen, these guys ain't playing for him. This is not the one. And we got to move him on. Then I have to trust the process that's the direction the club's going in with the new, if Paul Mitchell and these mans come in and say, Eric ain't it, bro. He's lost too many people. Because straight away, they'll see how many of the players he's lost. As much as he can give you a good press conference, don't tell me that the guys that are in the Sancho camp are giving him 100%. Because there's mans that are in the Sancho camp, Norms. And now, them foreign players, you don't think that them mans will go round each other's yard for dinner and talk? You know what I mean? And their kids do play dates and all that. Trust me, it happens. I've watched, when I watch the stuff with, you know what I mean? And you saw it, you're like, oh, these guys they move in packs, Norm. And I don't think Ten Hag has got all the packs on his side. Okay. So when players are moving in packs and they go and sit down and the wives go and do the wife thing and the man's then break bread and drink a little glass of wine and say, what's going on with our manager, guys? That's what's going on at Old Trafford right now. We're a mess.
So now...
the problem is the fans are also looking at it like, we ain't seen no good football like running for years in the club.
Right. And the thing is, like, if you think how the fans turned on Ralph, when all Ralph was doing was just exposing what really had gone, you know what I mean? Otherwise, they wouldn't have got rid of Richard Arnold like that. The thing ain't even over the line and Richard Arnold stepped down. It's actually everything you need to know that Ronaldo was right, but the wrong messenger. And the fans knowing what we know, that bankers cannot do the football side of the club. Mm. And all I want is football people in the football side of the club. Commercially, it takes care of itself. It always has done. We're a commercial giant. I ain't worried about commercials or sponsorship. 900 million from Adidas. No, it's 900 mil. Are you mad?
Yeah.
And we still got $1 billion in debt. Tells you everything you need to know that the club is run horribly with this Glazer ownership. And so I look at Sir Jim and say, I'm not sure about you, because you can afford to buy the whole club. You see how much Jason sent me some stuff that I read the other week. How much Ineos is making, Norm, and you can't buy the whole club. That tells me that
Ineos' turnover, right, is 560 something billion
a year, Norms.
A year,
and man dropped to like 1.4. Jay.
And he owns 60%.
60%, Norms.
Ineos. Wow. Now check this out. He owns 60% of Ineos. The other 40% is owned by his two friends. So Ineos. Sorry, guys.
Nah, that's cool, Jay. I love it, man. I love it,
man. And I can turn it off, man. I've got to turn this off, man. So, and what they're saying about Sir Jim is he could earn even more money if he floated it on the stock exchange, but he refuses to.
Yeah,
he's about control.
Yeah,
and the reason he maintains control because only him and his three friends that own the whole
thing. Yep.
So when we called him the Poundland billionaire, we done the man a massive disjustice.
Yeah, it's true. And I was running that hard. And the reason why I was running that hard because I'm saying
I was running it.
Jim just dropped the $7 billion, bro. You know you got it.
But then
he's got the money, Norm.
But he has. But then when you think about it, the only people, right? The only people that go into their pockets and drop 3, 4, 5 billion is the sheikhs.
It's true. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's true.
No one else does that. No English billionaire. Look at the people that bought Chelsea. Billionaires, how do they do it? Debts, loans.
Yeah.
And no one does that.
If you understand it, Jay, like I know you do, they're giving a thumbs up already. Yeah, if you understand it, right? You know that is actually the right way to do it. The rich people don't spend their own money; they spend other people's money.
They don't.
And so I understand it. But then when you tell me that, they turn over 500+ billion a year. I'm like, bro, just drop the 6-7 billion and just buy them out. Because I want them gone.
It's easy for us. It's easy for us.
I know.
Because at the end of the day, I say the Glazers, are probably holding out because hoping that in a few years' time comes worth more, and then they turn on. So we're ready to sell now. Everything.
Yeah.
Just give us the other 9 billion or 12 billion.
I heard they want 10 bill. I think if they
that's
got
what
10 bill right now from the Sheikh,
Yeah.
if Sheikh dropped 10 bill right now, they would say, sorry, Jim. Remember, Jim ain't over the line yet, Jay.
No,
which is a joke team.
Yeah,
and it's Thanksgiving weekend now.
It's typical, isn't it?
It's been a year since they said they are looking at. It's been a whole year, Norm.
Yeah.
Today is a year when they said we're looking at different avenues to stabilize Man United, whether that be a partial sale, a full sale, or investment. It's been a whole year, and Sir Jim still isn't over the line.
So where I stand, right
on the 10 Hag, this is
on 10 Hag, I'm 100% in the 10 Hag camp, right? Okay. And I tell you what, am I happy with the football? Hell no. Football's diabolical at times. D will hear me moaning and cussing. The problems at Manchester United happen. The same problems happen every single manager we get. So it doesn't tell me nothing's going to change. There is still something in this manager that I quite like. I haven't got a problem with the discipline.
No, the discipline thing, but it's a
because you look at Pep, right? Pep don't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're done.
Same as Fergie, to be fair.
Yeah, but it works. You can get away with it when you win.
When you're winning.
When you don't win, people ask questions about it. Right? Yeah. So I get that, and it's rightly so. Some of the decisions, what Manchester United, you touched on it, D, as a football club, the way we've been run is atrocious. Yeah. You've got people doing jobs that they're not qualified to. We're the epitome of it's not what you know, it's who you know. Because Ed Woodward got in, and he brought all his mates from Bristol University in.
Right, yeah.
That's what all these guys are, right?
All the bankers, they're all bankers, yeah. Literally, not bankers.
Not from Cambridge or Oxford, or not. They're not even from the elite ones. They're from Bristol.
Right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
So they brought them all in. So they're the epitome of.
I just worked out with teachers.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. So then I just think like what they need to do is. So, for example, from my understanding, Eric came in and he said, "I don't want what's his name, Wreck-It Ralph. I don't want him up there. I don't need him. I can pick my own players." Well, what you've shown us is you can't pick players.
You can't. Yeah.
So they need to be strong and say, "This is our structure. You work in it or you don't." All right, you work in it.
But the thing is, Jay, he's always worked with a director of football, a proper footballing director of football.
Ajax.
Yeah, so I don't get why he threw the Ralph thing away. I don't get that.
Because when he came to Man United, he had power. We were a mess, and we wanted him.
Yeah, that's right.
He was able to negotiate whatever he wanted, and then it worked well at the beginning. I remember the thing about Eric is when you look at Eric's record, right now in his second season at Manchester United, you look at the number of points he's won and all that sort of stuff. The only person out of Klopp, Guardiola, and Arteta, out of all those like the big clubs, the only ones who's got a better record than him at this stage is Guardiola. He's got a better record than Arteta. He's got a better record than Klopp. So it's not even now. Like our football has been atrocious. We've been bad, but when you look at where we are, it ain't even that bad.
Yeah. It's not like
there's been a lot of noise around the way you guys have been performing.
So much noise around, man.
You've been always noise. Before the international break, you were the full team.
Yeah,
which is mad, isn't it? Yeah.
No, but it's what I'm trying to say. I don't get it. I'm just like, yeah.
But Man United, that's what it shows you, though. Manchester United generates so much noise. Like, you think about it. Look how bad we are in terms of what you see on the pitch, right? And we're still much higher than like Chelsea, but you don't hear half the noise about Chelsea than you do about Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag is not under half the amount of pressure, and it's because of the label Manchester United, right? It's just the biggest club in the country, and this is what comes with it. And I'm fine with that and he's got to be fine with that because this is what you sign up for when you take the job. But so he's got to make better decisions. I don't think when I watch them, I don't see a bunch of players that aren't playing for him. Personally, I don't. I see players who aren't always comfortable with what they've been asked to do. I see players who have been asked to do stuff that they're not very good at. So this is why I say I'm 100% in his camp because I feel like if we take him out, it's just going.
I think that's
revolving door. Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
Okay, so saying all of that, then Jay, tactically as a manager, do you think he's a good manager tactically in terms of what he does on the pitch? Even though he hasn't got the players to do it, if he had the right kind of players, if he does get the backing from Ratcliffe, do you think you'll see better performances on the pitch and better football? At the moment,
I do.
Jay's been backed.
Tactically last year, but he's been backed. I've no doubt that he has. But tactically last year, he was pretty good. Not obviously not in every game, but no manager is great in every game. But tactically last year, I thought he was pretty decent. I think this year, what he tried to do was evolve the way the team have played, and it's just
gone pear-shaped. Yeah, it's just gone pear-shaped.
And if you see what was leaked, and we spoke about this, that the players are now coming out about the pre-season. Because remember, I was saying we're doing too much. What are we doing here? And this was all about commercial. That you promised a commercial side of the business that you're going to bring the team to Asia, to both coasts of America, then back to wherever it was, Far East, then over to Ireland. It's like, what are we doing here? But this was all obligations that they agree with. Now, apparently Ten Hag wasn't happy, but that's where he's powerless. They're saying, well, unless you can generate other commercials for us, then you got to take that team and jump through it. Because now that's what they're saying. That's why they're saying that we're all leggy after 12 games because of what we did in pre-season. Now, it feels very much, here's our excuse to get out for some of the lackluster performances. But we've all flown long distance and know what that does to your body. Like, the first time I flew to Hong Kong, it took me nearly a day and a half to get my body into. I was like, shit, it's like you drunk, bro. I said, no, my body's all over the shop because I'd worked the same day I flew and then flew for 13 hours. So my body was like, bro, what are you doing? I literally showered and crashed out, woke up a day later, and I was still like, I'm in Hong Kong, right? What go on? And so I get it when you're going there, exerting, playing in hot weather, playing on them crappy artificial pitches in America.
Picking up injuries unnecessarily.
Right, and then coming back. So and then obviously the 14 injuries as well. That's a lot of injuries within the first 12 games.
I think the injuries are a big factor. I think the injuries are a big factor. Because I can remember Arteta and Edu coming out and saying, Arsenal started the season poorly, the time he was bottom, and he came out and he said, listen, give us a chance, man. Judge us when we get all our players back.
Right,
and they got all their players back, and they did all right that year. I don't think he qualified for the Champions League.
But the thing is, Jay, as Dean said, it doesn't help when Ten Hag is falling out with players as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So the Varane situation.
But I don't see personally. I don't buy everything that I read because what I'm finding is there's always a narrative with Manchester United when something doesn't go well, right? Yeah. There's always they've fallen out. He doesn't like that one, or these ones don't like him, and there's always some kind of dressing room leak, and there's always these stories always seem to come out, but you never know who said them.
Yeah.
So I don't always believe everything that I hear. Because when I see Varane standing on the sideline, he doesn't look like a guy who doesn't want to play for him. When he came on the other day, in the Champions League, he didn't look like a guy. He didn't play well. He didn't look like a guy who didn't want to play for him.
Jay, I can't remember what game it was, whether it was Champions League. He came on, and Eric's talking to him. He just completely blanked him.
I think it was a Champions League game.
Might be Champions League, and I thought body language is off. And then when he came on, it's just like. Because it's almost like what this is what you're doing to me. You know what I mean? Because
but then if I was Varane,
I think that was the what's the name game? The
one we lost.
Yeah,
came back and lost. But,
yeah.
but if I was Varane, there's a part of me, even as a fan, there's a part of me that thinks, so what? Like, dude, I'm tired of you as a player. Playing 2 games and then you're out for 6 games.
Then you're injured, yeah.
And
maybe there's that as well, Jay. Maybe there's that. Maybe that's his injuries.
At least Slabhead plays every week.
And if you think about it,
I can't stand the guy as a
if
player.
you think about it, Norm, if you think about it, like going back maybe around a month and a half ago, I actually said he has to start Slabhead. Remember, he was doing everything not to start him. I said, nah, he's on 200 bags a week. Like England international gets picked every international free by his gaffer. I'm not saying that's right. And we just got him sat on the bench with his hood up. Nah, play him. You know what I mean? Like just play him and say, right, Harry, earn your money then. Since you're telling me you're the best defender here, and your England manager's telling me that you're the best defender.
And every time you play, your win ratio goes up. Play me.
Yeah, well, until recently. Because you have to remember
the complacency with a lot of these players these days is too much, man. I mean, you're getting big money, huge money.
And this is what I don't get. This is what I don't get when you look at the opportunity and then you see lackluster performances. You say, how many kids at school would dream of playing for these big clubs? And you're actually there on 200 plus bags a week. And then you see a performance and you say, what am I missing here? Is it personal? Are you injured? Are you mentally not right? I don't know.
I haven't seen personally. Varane, I don't know what's going on. Right, I don't really buy that whole left-sided centre back as well. I don't really.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel it's definitely a fallout, Jay.
I don't buy that. But at the same time, I just think, like, for me, we need to get really tough now, right? Because really, what we need to do is just clear out half of these players. Half of them are just waste men. On big salaries.
Yeah.
Well, that probably won't now happen until the summer now because
no, it's not going to happen now.
But it might happen in January, no? If the price is right, they're talking like between 20 and 25 mil for Varane. But it leaves us light.
Maybe they would get Varane out because of the injuries and stuff like that. It's like Thomas Partey
and the high wages.
And Scottson, is there underlining stuff going on there? Because some people are saying that he's not injured. Has he fallen out with the manager? Who knows? But it's the same thing for us because we're looking at the guy from Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa and also Ruben Neves, who apparently now doesn't want to come back to the Premier League on loan from the Saudi club. So I think we need to have an upgrade on Partey because it's just far too many injuries. You know what I'm trying to say? But and the thing about it, apparently he had to have some sort of procedure on whatever. I don't know if it was his fire or whatever. So that's going to keep him out until January. But let me tell you something. If I see that man going to Ghana in the African Cup of Nations, bro, I know this. I know something's going on. Yeah? If that man is picked for Ghana and he plays, something's going on. Yeah, you don't have no procedure, and all of a sudden you play for Ghana. So we'll see what Guarda saw. You understand?
And this is where the club, not being funny, that's where the club should block him. If he's not fit for your club, then you can't get on the plane to go anywhere and play international football. Right. That's just like not on that money.
And there's some Instagram post of him in Qatar or Abu Dhabi going to see some cars and choosing up some.
I've not seen it.
Wow.
But is he walking fine? Does he look like he
looks all right to me?
Yeah, he's not limping.
So, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Nomsky, just quickly, there was a message you put up. I think from Scott.
Yeah.
He mentioned about his mental health and.
Oh yeah. Let's go back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Scott, you know what? Anything in life, especially when it comes to mental health, you have to protect my guy. And if that's what it meant, leaving the job that way, you don't crash and burn, because we see it too often in not just in our community, but in communities in general where I mean, I'm working with a guy right now that is currently ignoring his mental health. And I actually spoke to my site supervisor today and say, you guys got to get this guy some help. I need some help. And he said, oh, no, it's not my issue. I said, well, I have to deal with him at night because he only works the control at night. This guy doesn't shower or nothing, right? it's bad, Jay. I go in the office. I said, Lord of mercy. I said, Bridget, just crack a window for me, yeah? It's a little bit stuffy in here. Like, I don't want to tell a man that he smells like a dog. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to be polite. And it's night after night. I told Michelle about it earlier. She goes, well, maybe send an email to your manager, getting some help. So I'm not saying that's where you are, Scott. Far from it. But I'm glad that you are, you know what I mean? You're dealing with that. You know what I mean? And you might think it's a midlife crisis, but sometimes life just comes at you differently. Certain things happen and it's not what you expected to happen. And you react to it in a way that probably is out of character. So big up to yourself for finding your faith, doing something that hopefully positively motivates you back into a better mental health. That's all I would say. I saw it and I was like, rah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, definitely. I mean,
don't want to let that slide.
Back everything you say, because I say mental health. I mean, there's a thing that they show. It was on Sky Sports, and you got. I think it was like two Norwich fans, yeah. And you got one that's getting up and blah blah, he's getting really excited.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it.
And the other guy's just kind of, I know, so like, it's a role play thing. And the other guy's just sort of sitting there like whatever. And then like a couple of games later, he comes back, and puts the scarf where the guy that was getting up said, "Oh, you're right." Yeah. So he's basically saying that mental health, we tend to, put a mask over it, and so you don't really know what's really going on in their life. And so sometimes it is really good to talk about it. And big up to you, Scott, for putting that out there still. You know what I mean?
100%, mate. Hats off, brother. Like they say, and it looks like you're doing it, Scott. It looks like you're changing your environment and the things that you do. Because if you've got a problem with where you think, then it's also about what you take in. Because what you take in becomes what you give out. So you've got to change your environment and change your circumstances and change what you're reading and change what you're watching. So I think you're doing the right things there, man. Well done, brother.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Yeah, keep it going. And I said, sometimes these kind of shows, because football in itself can make you go off your head sometimes because, I don't know how these managers do it. And then, you look at the footballers, there's a lot of pressure involved when it comes to football. And those guys, they're going on, pulling their hair out, you know what I mean? Not knowing it's bad enough. You're going to be playing a game tomorrow. You don't know. This anxiety kicks in. Is my club because you don't have no control. It's almost like if you're watching a game, right? And my son always keeps turning around to me and says, "Dad, they can't hear you." But it's like, please, just do it for me. Don't cut my weekend. You know what I mean? I need to go into this. So sometimes having these kind of platforms where, listen, win, lose or draw, we can kind of talk about our team, and it's offloading because sometimes you're trying to keep it to yourself. It's like, you know what I mean? You get frustrated and stuff like that. And then, you get your missus saying, don't worry, you'll win next time. I say, don't tell me that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is.
It literally, she puts her in front of the door and says, D, are you good? Because from round about there, you don't sound good, Bridget. Like, you're not a multi-millionaire footballer, bro. Relax. Protect your mental health. Protect your heart, your blood pressure. Because sometimes I'm going nuts, me one in the room, That's why it's good sometimes to go and watch football with brethren rather than on your own, because like you can kind of like just banter each other and take some pressure off the way you're feeling in the moment. You know what I mean? I hear that.
I made a decision at the start of the season. I love my football. I love my team, but I made a decision. I ain't taking it seriously anymore. I'm not. It's not. I'm not going to let it. And it's a choice. So I'm going to make a choice. Mash up my
weekend.
It's not going to mash up my day, my weekend, or whatever.
I try my utmost best. I must I'm trying. But this Arsenal team, they put you through the ringer sometimes. You understand? They put you through the ringer, but it is what it is. We're coming up to our last sort of kind of subject matter, and that's just kind of looking at our respective Premier League teams and just how you would grade them, kind of midterm thing. So let's obviously start off with Liverpool. Kofi, how would you and we could probably add to that as well. How do you think your team has fared up until this point? We're 12 games in. Looking at you're sitting currently second on 27 points with a goal difference of 17 and scored 28 goals. And the start of your season, how would you upgrade it?
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with how Klopp has kind of molded a brand new midfield, and he's integrated everybody, and he's still trying to get people to play out position, but the team seems settled because everybody's kind of like just playing to their strengths, and we have fortunate that we don't have too many injuries at the moment. So I mean, I've got to be happy with where we are in terms of we played 10 games, 10, 11 games, and
we played 12,
11,
12 games.
12
games.
Yeah.
12 games.
And we're a point behind City. Yeah, so I didn't really. I expected us to be up there, but not riding next to City as we are. Yeah.
Okay, so you think in your mind, in terms of your expectation, you didn't expect to be second. You would probably said maybe third or fourth.
Just for now. Because
coming off the back of last season, obviously you picked up towards the end of the last season and you started winning more games of that. And then I think going into this season, at the start of the season, you had the issues with trying to, get Caicedo and Lavia, and that kind of threw a cat amongst the pigeons. And you must be thinking to yourself, gosh, we need to sort this midfield out. And obviously you went and got that guy on loan, I think, from I can't remember what club it is, Endo.
I think it was it Leipzig or
Leipzig? I think it was Leipzig. It was. Yeah. You got him. Whether that solved the problem or not, but if you look at your front, attacking players, that looks good. I think you said you had some little. It wasn't too sure about your defense.
Yeah, defensively we got to tighten up. Even though Van Dijk has actually played better.
He has played.
I still feel that like teams can get us like quite easily. And
that's
the patterns of play and cutting through us. You look at some of the games, the Brentford game and Tottenham, and you're thinking like some of the goals we shipped or we had chances against us.
Yeah, and teams like Luton, where you expect to go there and win, and you end up Luton. So on that note, how would you grade?
Yeah, give us a letter grade, man.
Yeah, give us a letter grade now. Stop waffling.
You know what? For now, I'm gonna say 7-ish.
No, I didn't say out of 10. I said a grade. Yeah.
All right.
A to you. Grade. A is excellent. U is unclassified.
B.
A B.
Yeah.
B. A B. Okay, B. Do you agree with him? D. He says a B. B minus.
Yeah. I think a B is about right. Yeah, B is about right there. Yeah.
Yeah. A B. What about you, Jay?
Because
I was thinking when I was thinking I would have given him a B plus.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And why the plus?
Because I think they've actually had a pretty good year so far. I'm not.
Is it because they've gone beyond what you expected because of the okay. Right.
Yeah, I'm not looking at. I'm not looking at. Oh, we was a bit open in that game. I'm just looking at your results now and where you are now, and where you are, and the amount of points you picked up, and everything like that, compared to where you were last year. I'll give you a B plus. I'll give you a B plus.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, Norma, I always said that don't expect Liverpool and Chelsea to be how they were last season.
Yeah, you did.
It's very rarely that teams do that in back-to-back seasons. So
Klopp does this a lot. Klopp does this a lot now, up and down.
Yeah.
So so we got kind of. It's looking like it's the B's have the say. Yeah, B's are fair, as Scott would say. B's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll come to Arsenal, and I look at Arsenal, and I look at where we was last season in terms of, spending 93% of the time at the top of the league, only to bottle it and throw it away. And then I think the thing was for me was I knew coming into this season that teams would get better. I knew there was no way that Liverpool were going to be as bad as they were last season. I didn't expect the kind of momentum from Tottenham, from where they were and now where they are now. you know what I mean? And I suppose I looked at all of that and said to myself, okay, when we went into this season, I looked at it was maybe our style of play, and I was kind of getting a bit frustrated because I was thinking like, yeah, we're winning games, but we're not winning them convincingly. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we're getting through and winning the games, but the football, we were slapping teams last season. Like, you know what I mean? We was playing lovely, fluid football. And I think it didn't really help with Arteta starting to, you know, muck about with the system and started playing Thomas Partey at right back and but for whatever reason, decides that he's going to go buy Kai Havertz 65 million to try and shoehorn him in to a position where Granit Xhaka now, I wish he was back in the club playing, because right now it just seems a little bit disjointed. It still feels a little bit disjointed for me. Okay, yeah, we beat, I think probably one of our best games was when we went back into the Champions League and we beat PSV at home 4-0. And that's the first time I thought, yeah, fluid football, fantastic. That was the football that I saw last season compared to this season. So I look at it, yeah, we beat Nottingham Forest 2-1 at home, but we're conceding too many goals. Our away record in terms of goals is not bad, but it's a home record. We're conceding a lot of goals. Crystal Palace went away, tough place, beat them 1-0, drawing 2-2. Fulham down to 10 men, and that really hurt because I was away in I can't remember where I was, I think in West Brom. And I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Yeah. I felt sick to the stomach, man. No, I was in Wales, actually. I was in Wales. I felt sick to the stomach. And then, we turned over Man United 3-1. That was a sweet victory there. That was really sweet. The offside goal being ruled out for Garnacho. Thought they won it in the last minute. I only thought Rice, baby, to just
VAR, my lord, VAR.
And then
the most overrated player.
And I still think, let me finish. Let me land.
He's not even Basmati.
And Lindelof still sliding.
The right that no one wants.
Man is still sliding. But anyway, listen. Talk about Rice being overrated and that. For me, let me finish.
He's not even Jasmine Rice, no, man.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Forget Basmati. He ain't even Jasmine.
He's American long grain rice.
No, you can't say. No, Jay. Hold on.
You know what?
Hold on a minute. Listen.
Anchor butter on top.
Now it's a question. Why am I getting the heat? Yeah, when it comes to Toffee Street, everybody's as cool. Yes,
we're asking for a letter grade, not the whole evaluation.
All right, okay. Let me just put this straight though. In terms of the Rice team, he's consistently given us a 7 out of 10 every game. And you can't deny that. Yeah, at least a 7 out of 10. Yeah, and I'll give him 10 out of 10
If I listen to the commentators talk about Rice, I would think they were talking about Zinedine Zidane or someone like that. When I listen to them talk about Rice,
but we know that's the English press for you, yeah.
He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player.
I'll tell you this now.
He's not what they say he is.
Yeah, I'll tell you this now. He's a very good player, but he's not world class. He's not even in the Jude Bellingham spectrum, yeah. But he's a very what I want from him is that the job that he does it well for us. That's what I can say. It's the job that he does for us. He does it well. He works for us. So for me,
is he doing it better than Partey was doing it when he was on form last year? I don't think he is.
Well, but anyway, let me give my grade. Then, yeah.
Go ahead.
You're waiting greatly, yeah. So all things considered, yeah. Look at Jay. So what are you gonna say? I'm gonna give Arsenal. I think that, and the only reason why I'm doing that is because of the way we're playing. I'm going to give Arsenal a B-.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. I think that's fair.
I'm going to give it a B-. I think we've got another gear to go, but it's whether we can do that.
Yeah. I think a B-. B. It's still a good place to be.
Yeah. So you're saying a B? What are you saying, Colin? A B or B-?
To be honest, I wouldn't go by what Arsenal did last season.
No, I'm not talking about last season. I'm talking about this season.
That's I know. But I mean, the expectation of them like just replicating what they did last season. So, I mean, I'll still go B because they're still that team that they're going to be up there.
Big D?
Right. And I'll try and be quick here. I look at the shaky start of the goalkeeper, especially when we decided that I think we had to go in a different direction. I don't really have a problem with going.
No.
Arsenal.
Oh, right. I thought you was. No, I said I agree with you, Norm. I agree with you on
you said the B minus.
B minus.
I need to hear what JP's got to say, bro.
Yeah. I said that was fair.
Don't be 18. What?
No, C.
You joker! Get off the show.
I see. What Jay say? You said C.
No, hold on. Why? Are you having a bubble?
Why. No, do you know why? Because I think Arsenal last season, at this stage, I'm just doing it at this stage last season. Yeah. He's tinkering with the side so much, he's made you worse. You're not a better team. So I think in the tinkering that he's done, this is what
big man we say, mate.
C's not a bad score. I've dropped you down to a C, even a C. Oh, I'll give you a C plus. I'll drop you to a C plus because I just think he's tinkered with it. Even the goalkeeper, I don't think you've strengthened the position in goal.
Yeah.
You just created unrest by what he's done. So I just think he's trying to. And I get it. He wants to take Arsenal to the next level and all that. So he's trying to tinker with it. I just think you don't look like the same. To me, Arsenal last year annoyed the pants out of me because you just always looked like you were going. You all like, and you know.
It's just the final hurdle, man.
Yeah, towards the end. I'm not talking, but especially at this stage last season.
Yeah,
you were unstoppable.
Yeah.
If you went to this stage last season,
I think
you were unstoppable.
at this point now, I think we're 1 point worse than we was last season.
Okay, that's fair enough. Is that all it is?
Yeah.
Okay. But then, do you think that because Arteta has had to juggle with Champions League as well, and he wants to kind of impress in Champions League, that's why he's tinkling with the team as much as he is?
For me, you play your best 11. Yeah, you play your best 11. And what we saw in pre-season, I thought brilliant. The first game of the season, you know, he's leaving Gabriel Magalhaes, who's probably one of the best pairing defenders last season alongside Saliba. He's decided that he's gonna, you know, drop him. And there was talk that it could be that Gabriel was going to go to the Saudi Pro League, but that didn't happen. So I just think it's just Arteta just trying to be too clever. He isn't Pep. Yeah, stick to your principles and play the football that we was playing last season. I think injuries do play a part in it, but I think the biggest major thing for me that really kind of upset the apple cart is you going out and buying Kai Havertz, because we're trying to shoehorn this guy in and it just ain't working the way it should work. That's my personal opinion on it. So, okay, C plus, that's what it is. So let's move on to our beloved Man U. We'll start off with Big D, bro.
Yeah, like I was saying when I was a bit confused with what we were saying there.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, I think we've been a little disjointed this season. The 14 injuries definitely hasn't helped, but if you look at the league position, you know, people always say the league don't lie, and it doesn't. Like we've scrambled and got points where we probably shouldn't have got points, and I think as well that we've been done dirty by VAR this season, big time.
Well, the stats show it. The stats show.
Yeah. There's no lies there.
We're the team that's the worst off in the Premier League.
Yeah, because of VAR. Yeah, and so when you put that all into account, and then all the drama that comes with us with the sale and everything else, I think I'm actually going to say a C, and I don't know if that's ambitious. I'm going to say a C, just because where we are in the league. My concerns with the Champions League form. I mean, we're going away and scoring 3 goals away from home and losing the game. Like, that's kind of unheard of in Champions League, that you score 3 on the road and don't get a win or even a draw. So I think we've been a little bit unfortunate there. Maybe just mentally switching off when we need to stay focused. And I'm not going to lie if I didn't say I wasn't concerned about our front six, Jay. Our front six have got 1 goal in the Premier League. And that's a problem. Like, especially when I look at Liverpool's front six and I look at the front 5 or 6 of Man City, the 1 goal in game week 12, 6 players, 1 goal in game week 12. Yeah,
Rashford. And
Rashford against Arsenal.
Against Arsenal.
Yeah, and so
I think Bruno's got a goal though.
No, we're talking about attacking players. Bruno's more of a because
Bruno is registered as a midfielder. I don't put Bruno in it, Jay, even though he pushes forward, because if you look at it, when Ten Hag needs him, he plays him a double pivot. Not often, but when he needs him to play there.
Sure.
So I still consider him a midfielder. But if I'm talking Rashford, Garnacho, Palestri, Anthony, Sancho in the first 3 games before he got benched, and Anthony Martial, them 6 I'm talking. 1 goal for them 6. It's a shocker. Not a Man United. You imagine Giggs, York, Cole, Solskjaer, Sheringham, and whoever on the right getting 1 goal after in game week 12. Well, going into game week 13 now. That's a shocker. And whether that's Benny McCarthy or just the way we're playing tactically, we got to address that. Otherwise, I think we did very badly, Jay. If we don't start scoring goals soon, I think teams that we feel are average are going to leapfrog us because we're not scoring goals. So
you're giving a C.
C. Yeah, I'm going to say C. Yeah, because of the league position, I think we scrambled and done some things in the league that, and not of that, then you've got to give props to the midfield and defenders for scoring, Jay, as well. Yeah, I think the midfield and defenders have kept us in it with the goals, if you really be truthful, and likely ones as well. So I look at it and say, get everyone back, and then you can judge him.
Okay.
Get everyone back, and you play everyone in their right positions, and hopefully we can cook. I'm not saying cook like City or Liverpool, but be up there competing, and because we have to finish in the top 5, like Champions League football and bust. We have to, Jay. I don't want to finish 6th or 7th. I don't like the Europa team. That makes me allergic. You know what I mean? It gives me rashes and stuff. I ain't trying to do all that.
Yeah, Toffees have got a little bit of that at the moment. So,
yeah, and then I was very defeated last week. Defeatist when I said just play the kids for the last 3 games, but they're still hoping the Champions League. He still can get a result, and we'll see. But I don't want to play in Europa. Like, if we lose this one, just play the kids for the final game and finish with that.
Jay, what's your grade?
For me, he gets a C-.
Yeah.
And he's only got a C- because we're 6th on the table. It would be lower.
Fair enough. Right. Yeah, we're lower.
And the reason I'll give Man United a C- is because he's made all these signings and he's made us worse. So, like, everyone he's brought in has made the team worse than it was last year.
Yeah.
As we stand today. We're talking about where we are at this point.
Yeah, right.
12 games in.
And you're only 6 points off, like.
I'm talking about that. So now that's why you got a C-.
Yeah. Well, I was saying C because I've been ambitious, Jay. But I think you're probably right there.
He got a C- just because we're still in something, 6 points off, 5 points off 4th spot and all that sort of stuff, right? But the reality is, as a fan watches the game, the team are worse. The team shit goals. They're easier to play through than they were last year. Yeah. Our midfield, which has always been our weakest part anyway, is even weaker.
Yeah.
We're not where we should have. So I just think the things we should have done in the summer, we didn't address our summer in the right way. We prioritized for whatever reason. The priority signing was Mason Mount.
Yeah.
No fan
Still don't get that.
No fan in the world could understand why we were prioritizing Mason Mount over a striker. We buy a striker. We put all this pressure on a 20-year-old kid. The guy looks
Exactly.
decent, but it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair what we're doing to the kid, and there's nobody else. Because you can't ask Anthony to do anything. Martial, I'm talking about. You can't ask him to do anything. So I just think the goalkeeper situation looked atrocious at the beginning.
Yeah.
At the back, we were awful. In midfield, we were so easy to play through.
Yeah.
And up front, we had nothing. So I just look at the side and I just think, well, we were better last year.
Yeah. I would actually agree with you. C-. That's what I was adding in my head as well.
Yeah.
C-, considering where you are in the league. As I said, but as I said, I looked at some of your games and I think you've got a -3 goal difference.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That front six has got to wake up and wake up now. Because now this is your second third of the season now. That first third was shocking, as in goals.
I made a mistake on here last year where I was defending Rashford's contract.
Yeah.
And really, Rashford was playing for a contract, and now he's got it. He's gone back to what he was doing before.
Exactly. Well, and this was my fear. I said if PSG want to drop a light 90 mil or whatever it was on him, take him, and let's go in another direction. Let's go and buy Saka from Arsenal.
Because it was the going rate, but
I know.
If you could, last year we could compare him to Saka. This year you can't lace Saka's boots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new guy, Højlund?
I like him.
Yeah, me as well.
He just needs the service. He's doing. It's funny that it's mad. He's doing well in Champions League, but
he's got 5 goals in the Champions League, Cove.
Yeah,
true. And that makes me what you said earlier, Jay. You see what you said earlier, that the Premier League may be harder than the Champions League, as in the way the Champions League is rough. Because I'm saying, how's this kid got 5 goals in Champions League but struggling to get a sniff in the Premier League? It don't make sense to me.
I think it's more of a settling thing. I think you still need that year and a half to really settle.
Yeah. No, but if you look at
you know what it is though. You know what it is. I think it's, as the Cole was saying, it's that settling down period. Yeah. But what it is that there's an expectation, because I think of the way your team is playing right now. There's that desperation expectation from Højlund.
Right, he's not in a flowing team, is he?
Yeah,
if he was in a team that was playing flowing football, he probably would have scored about 6 by now.
Yeah. Well, he's getting the odd chance again, and there's so much pressure to take it.
Yeah.
Because we're not making a load of chances. We're not making apart from the last game. We did be playing the last game. We made quite a few chances. We ended up winning it 1-0.
Luton.
That's probably one of the few games we've created quite a few chances in the game. But other than that, it's all been pretty.
I was thinking as well. I think Haaland has had 2 disallowed from VAR, if not 3. Yeah, definitely the Rashford cross and the gone. He's had 2. One from Garnacho and assist from Rashford.
The Rashford one was when they thought the ball was out.
When it said the shadow was.
Well, -5 goals, aren't we? From VAR.
I think
we should have had 5 goals from VAR.
Yeah, and I think 2 is from him, Jay. 2 is from Højlund. That he's putting it back in the net and celebrating, and then everybody's like, "Here we go." Gone to the screen. Nah, put it off. So I feel for him because I think once he gets one, I think he goes. As long as he is, I think he goes and gets a few in the Premier League. But
I need to give him help though. I just don't think he's right. Yeah. I just don't think it's right that we do that to him. He's not.
Yeah.
He didn't come into the Premier League like a Haaland, banging in loads of goals anyway.
Yeah.
He came into the Premier League and he scored about 8-9 goals last year.
Well, there is a masterstroke, Jay. There is a masterstroke that Ten Hag did in the last couple of games, putting Rashford back on the right. Right, it forces Marcus to cross the football. He can't shoot with his left foot. I actually like that. I know it sounds a bit cruel because you put him back on the left, he's cutting in and putting his leg through that ball, and this man's not getting across. But on the right, he's forcing him to cross the football. So I actually like Ten Hag doing that. I don't care if Rashford's vexed about it. I don't really care. Get the ball in and let this striker do what the strikers do. Because you're on peace. You're the highest paid player at the club now. Him and I think Casemiro, they're the highest two players at the club, as in, the packages that they got. So I'm thinking, Kaz ain't there. It's on you, Marcus, because the guys that have access to Man United, like the YouTubers, people like Flex and them guys, and KG the comedian, they're saying that when they go to Carrington, they said Rashford is the man. He said you can clearly see what goes on, and it is literally Marcus Rashford's team, even though Bruno's a captain. So Marcus has got to act and play like this is his team. And so just interesting listening to them, one of their shows earlier in the week, and they said it. When you go to Carrington, Marcus is the man. Not Bruno, Marcus.
Yeah, well, Marcus needs to start to live up on that on the pitch, mate.
Just find a new girlfriend. Find a new girlfriend, get your head straight, and just ball out. Because I think the thing that the girlfriend thing is messing with him. I don't even know what's really going on there.
Yeah. Just quickly, obviously, as in Chile are not on, but I don't want an assessment of them. Just quickly, Tottenham, what would you give them? Just give me a letter.
A B.
Okay. Cool.
I would say that, but B minus.
B, yeah, I'll say B. I think it's just the only reason why I'm doing that is because obviously they've dropped off with the injuries and stuff like that. But I'll give them a B. Put it in the chat, guys, what you think. What about Chelsea?
Big fat F.
Are you for real? What?
No, you know what? I'm not a Chelsea hater, but it just looks pear-shaped a little bit.
It's probably a D, isn't it?
I'll give him a D. I'll give him a D.
Yeah, D minus. Yeah.
D minus. Anything.
No, you know what? They picked up performances. So I mean, I've got to be fair. I've got to say D, but yeah.
D plus.
Well, they haven't turned it into wins. They haven't turned it into wins.
No, they haven't. Yeah. That's the thing. And
and they need to turn Tito into Michael up front, isn't it?
Yeah.
And once that happens, then maybe.
yeah. Listen, we are now coming down to the close, and I just want to go. The Premier League is back. How do you think your team is going to fare against your opponents? I know there's a big, massive game Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Liverpool against Man City. What do you think the outcome is going to be? What's the score?
It's at the Etihad, and we haven't had a good performance there for a while. So, you know what? I'll take it either way. A draw. Draw.
You're going for a draw. Okay.
What, a score draw or a 0-0 draw?
It's always a score draw.
2-2.
2-2 Desmond.
Yeah, 2-2 or 1-1.
Okay. You guys are going away to Everton. They're going to be galvanised with their backs against the wall. 10 points deducted. They need to get those points back. How do you think you're going to fare?
2-1 United. Yeah, 2-1 United. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need to be doing them any favours. No sympathy here. 2-1 United.
Okay. Right. Jay?
Same.
Yeah.
2-1.
2-1, yeah. I think for us going away to Brentford, 5:30 kickoff Saturday evening. We won there last season. I can't remember if it was 2-0 or something like 2 or 3-0. We got a couple of players coming back, so I'm really pleased about that. Jesus is back. Odegaard. Jesus played the full 90 minutes for Brazil, so I'm really pleased about that. I will probably say 2-1 to Arsenal. 2-1 to Arsenal. Everton. Scott is going Everton 2, Man United 0.
Scott.
Arsenal 2, Brentford 0. So those are the games that are coming up this week. But as I said, we'll be back with the Fantasy Premier League weekend next week, Wednesday, and our Prediction League game week 13. So, guys, put it in not this chat, but what's going on chat with regards to what you think the scores will be. Please don't choose the same one. And Kofi, he's doing quite well in that Prediction League table. He was very pleased with himself. He's currently second. But I think by what we agreed last week, looking at the form, it looks like Chelsea, Kofi's got a better form than Chile. And really, it should be Kofi sitting top and Chile second.
Yeah, it should be Kofi. Yeah, Kofi should be top.
Yeah. is unusual territory for D. He's sitting fourth right now. And then obviously we've got Ez still. We've got Ez still sitting at the bottom in fifth place. I just want to quickly say this quick thing here. This Craig put in the chat, and this is here. Listen, prayers are going. Oh no, it's this wrong one. Where is it? This one. Where is it? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, sorry. Just to say, yeah, it's got. It's off topic. I want to say, especially, got to go back in 4 to 6 weeks' time to have 2 biopsies done. I'm right. I can't lie. Just to let you know, Craig, prayers are for you.
Yeah, big up yourself,
for that.
Everything
goes fine for you, and everything goes really well. As I say, it's not easy, as men, you go to the doctors and whatever, and then you have to wait for the results. But hopefully, everything will come back all fine and hunky dory. Yeah. So prayers are going out for you with regards to that. But listen, people in the chat, want to give you props for staying with us. It's a bit of a long show, but it was a great show. Thank you to Big D. Thank you to the Culture Block. Thank you to JP. Thank you for Ez for coming on earlier on. Chili was in the chat. It's been a great show. There was supposed to be a special guest on tonight, but they chickened out for whatever reason. It was your fellow supporter, Kofi. Miss J, but she chickened that tonight, so it is what it is. Yeah, but hopefully one day I'll try and get on. I'll try and get on before Christmas. Yeah, but people, please hit that please hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. And listen, people, we are out here. Take care. And
take care, guys.
Yes, guys.